Steve Kim here at the Boxing Laboratory in Oxnard, Media Day for Sergey Kovalev, André Ward. The rematch takes place June 17th at the Mandalay Bay. Kathy, this has been kind of a awkward promotion, wouldn't you say?
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Awkward.
You
yeah.
would agree?
I would agree. Yes, it's been awkward.
What's it like the second time around with Roc Nation, your good friends?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to talk about Roc Nation. We have the two best fighters in the world, according to Ring Magazine, fighting each other. We have, that's only the second time that's ever happened. Whitaker Chavez was the first time, 24 years ago, the first and only other time. And instead of talking about that, they talk about like soap opera stuff that has nothing to do with why somebody should want to see such a great fight.
Well, with that said, this is a high caliber fight. There was a lot of controversy back in November. My question is, why hasn't this rematch gained more traction then?
Well, you know, when we renegotiated the deal, all they came back asking for was creative control. They wanted to control the promotion. They wanted to set the tone. They specifically used those words. André had great ideas about how he wanted to promote the fight, and we actually weren't allowed to discuss the fight per contract until André was ready to announce it. Our hands are tied, and I've been frustrated myself, but I think there were interviews given. They're going to do things the Roc way, so this is the Roc way.
The Roc way. Okay, I look forward to seeing that. Yeah, I'm sure you do. You have a vested interest. I don't.
I'm still waiting to hear what Andre's great ideas are.
Kathy, with that said, let's look forward to the fight. What do you recall most about the night in November? Obviously, you felt as though your man won the fight, but what stands out looking back in hindsight?
All the wrestling. It was like a UFC match, part of it. I was frustrated watching the fight because I could see Ward was getting away with a lot of his tactics and having a hard time understanding, what had changed in the second half of the fight. But after speaking to Sergey, I realize now it was more a function of the way he had prepared for the fight than it was the fight itself.
You wanted neutral judges. This is something that Main Events asked for. It was turned down. I believe that there are 3 American judges. We know who they are. There's an American referee. Can you get a fair shake in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, we asked the commission to just give us those judges who don't make mistakes, and I am comfortable with the people that were chosen. And I was last time, to tell you the truth, but so I can't complain. I can say I think the people who judged it last time made a mistake. I think they listened to the crowd. I think they fell into a pattern. Once Ward won a few rounds, they just started falling into that pattern. People do it. It's human. Judges, when they are trained, are warned against doing that. I think the judges we have this time are less apt to do that based on their past records.
But do you believe, again, we know the politics at play here. We know what could happen. Again, it seems to me the deck may be stacked against you guys, specifically Sergey Kovalev, the tenor of this promotion. Have you made it clear to Sergey that laying up and playing it safe this time around may not be the best way to go?
Yeah, I don't have to tell Sergey that. He figured that out right after they read the decision. So I think he knows that now. He's coming out to make a definitive statement, or better knock him out. But he'll go out and try to win every round.
Kathy Duva joins us right now, the head of Main Events. Kathy, 2017 has been a very interesting year in boxing. A lot of things going on. I think mostly positive. How do you view the sport this year?
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun watching all the fights that have been happening and be able to anticipate all the ones that are coming forward. It seems that, last year was disappointing for the sport, and it seems every time we get one of those down years, the next year's full of stuff. So that seems to be the pattern, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's even fun for me to get to go to some of these fights as a spectator and watch them.
Kathy, the Roc Nation, I think, planted a story on a website I work for saying that John David Jackson was almost being Benedict Arnold. How much validity do you give to their claim that John tried to jump ship to the André Ward side?
Yeah, John called me up around February or so and told me that he had been approached by them, that he had turned them down, and that he was, absolutely, ready to go and wanted to know, what the plans were going forward. So I know that what they're saying is a lie. I know that they approached him. I know they're probably upset that their plan didn't work. I think if you remember, there was a press conference in Oakland a few months ago and weeks ago, and Virgil kept making a big stink about why isn't John here, why isn't John here? And I kept saying, well, because he's working today just like you were yesterday when you weren't in New York. He kept saying, well, I'm not so sure he's going to be there in June. And at that point I was saying, Virgil, your plan didn't work. Shut up, your plan didn't work. But it didn't work. Look, they have to be really concerned to be approaching Sergey's trainer about training their fighter. I would ask, how does that reflect on Virgil?
So do you believe that is that part of the Roc Nation way of promoting a pay-per-view fight?
I guess so. It's fascinating, actually. All this does is show a spectacular lack of imagination on their part, because we have a fight that stands on its own. And my question, I guess, is where's André? Because his lawyer's out making statements, his promoter's out. I mean, I've seen a bunch of stories lately on your website about, quoting his promoter, his manager, his lawyer. Where's André?
Well, when you look, June 17th, in your mind, what happens?
Sergey gets his belts back.
Okay, that's simple.
That's that simple, yep.
All right, well, that's it. Kathy Duva, Steve Kim here from the Boxing Laboratory in Oxnard. This is Steve Kim saying goodbye, everybody.